Hello and welcome. This is Saturday News with Keith Lander, coming from you from the Dayton, the Tabernacle Baptist Church studios. And today's topics are going to be very interesting. They're coming out of the Dayton Daily News. As you know, this show is taped and viewed every other Saturday. Thank you for the comments from the last show. Keep those comments going, those positive comments, even the negative ones. I'll take those too. But on today's show, we have a special guest to react to the article in the Dayton Daily News. And it was headline front page in the news on September 28th, 2020. And the headline read, Dayton poverty level of the worst in the U.S. And I've read the article. I'm not in agreement with some of the stuff in the article, but I have someone here to basically react to the article and also let the community know what Montgomery County is doing to combat poverty. We have special guest, Montgomery County Commissioner Debbie Lieberman.
Thanks, Keith.
So Debbie, your reaction to the article. I'm pretty sure you've seen it and read it, and just a quick reaction.
Well, my initial reaction was, oh, great. But, you know, when you read it, it's like a lot of this is true. You're right, Keith, some of it was isn't quite accurate. You know, is it bad? Of course it is. And we know that poverty's here. It's been here a long time. And so, you know, I think it was a great call to action for many of us to say, well, let's continue the work we're doing, but let's make sure that people know what we're doing. So thanks for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, and along with that, you know, people may say Dayton, but then I got Montgomery County Commissioner here. So what's up with that? Well, Dayton, the county, we all work, it all works together. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why the commissioner is here. And, you know, can you expound on some of the resources that people who are poor and struggling residents here in this city and in the county, where they can go and seek some assistance?
Well, absolutely. You know, I think most people know about the Job Center. But beyond the Job Center, because we know in the United States, in 1992, actually, the way we did welfare in our country changed. And, you know, there's so many rules and so many hoops you have to jump through, we know that. But one of the things that we have tried to do is make sure that we wrap around people, that we don't just say, you know, here's your benefits, good luck. And so there are opportunities, but sometimes people don't know about those opportunities, or they don't connect, or they don't want to go to the Job Center. So a couple things we're doing right off the bat, Keith, is we are going into the neighborhoods. You know, this is a neighborhood by neighborhood issue. And so we're going into the neighborhoods, and as you said, not just Dayton, but Montgomery County, because we have a lot of poverty in the whole county. So we, 2 weeks ago, launched a mobile workforce unit. And what that is, it'll go to our hardest hit poverty neighborhoods and set up there and be a resource for people. Come in, it'll be a mini job bank, and you'll have counselors there that can help you through whether you need benefits or you're not getting the proper benefits, how to connect you with a job. And I think the most important thing that a lot of people aren't aware of is the incredible training that we can do for people. And every year we invest more and more into the training. You know, investing in people is our tagline at Montgomery County, and we take that very seriously. You know, I'm not going to say we had all the answers, so just a little bit of background. I hope you don't mind if I keep talking, Keith.
Oh, you go right ahead.
Okay. Well, for years, Montgomery County had what we called our outcome list. And we focused on you know, poverty level, we focused on infant mortality, we focused on the hunger, but it didn't seem like we were moving the needle. Every year, it seemed like we had the same percentage. And so what we did in the last few years is we kind of took all that apart, and we said, okay, we had a community-wide conversation for many months with some experts in the area, some of our best partners like at Wesley Center and Omega and East End, and we worked through what are we going to do, what's our priorities going to be, where are we going to invest the dollars. And in the last couple of years, what we've kind of been looking at that as our poverty reduction strategy. Now, it's not the be-all, end-all, and we know that, but we are investing. We do have programs. But one of the things that I really appreciate about our county is we're innovative. And in the last 2 years, I have chaired the nationwide Human Services Committee for the National Association of Counties. And the reason I bring that up is because I'm able to bring back things that work in other parts of the country, other large counties. We are a pretty large county. We're just 535,000, but that's considered a large county. And we meet with and we learn best practices. And so some of the things that we're doing now, just starting, is a program that's going to be, it's called the Path Forward. And what that's going to be, it's going to take a family and work, our workers, our employees will work with them to move them up out of poverty. Generational poverty in our community is big. And we know there's many reasons for that. And, a lot of it is systemic racism. And in fact, a couple months ago, the county commissioners declared racism as a public health crisis, because it is. We know it is. We know that racism is at the root of many of these things that we focus and invest in, whether it's infant mortality, whether it's the ex-offender program that Judge Rice and I work on. That's another subject, and we won't go into it. But that does, when we get those men and women through our program with only a 5% recidivism rate, which is remarkable. Statewide, I think it's 41%. So when we get them through that program, then we work with them to find them jobs. And not just any job, we want them to have a career and living wage jobs. So, it all works together, whether it's the job center, the workforce development, the economic development. We want our community to have good jobs, and we want to bring those good paying jobs here. Our investment in the West Side in the last year has really been incredible. Our county administrator, Michael Colbert, hears the commissioners, and he has, we're doing, in fact, we should cut the ribbon on it next month. We're going to have, at Westtown, the old Aldi's, we're going to have a center for innovation there. And what it'll have is kind of like that mobile unit I was just talking about. It's going to be a place where people can come, kind of a mini job center, workforce, resume writing. And the other thing we're going to focus on there is our youth. Our youth have been so important to us for years when for our Youth Works that we do every summer, and now it's a year-round program for some children. But in the last year, we launched a mentoring program for young men that has just been so successful. And next year, God willing, we're going to open it for women as well, young women.
Let me ask you, you mentioned the Job Center.
Yes, sir.
And if people are wanting information about the Job Center, I do have the number.
Okay.
I'll give out the number to the Job Center,
Sure.
which is 937-225-5627. That's 937-225-5627. If you want to call that Job Center. Now, how will people find out about the mobile
unit, mobile workforce unit?
How will they find out about that? Will that be advertised on the social media?
Will be advertised, social media, and we'll also have it on our website. And I think, our website's real simple to go to and look up whatever you're looking for, whether it's the Job Center, workforce development. And if you go to the Job Center now, there's different doors. We've really invested in it to make it so much more user-friendly. So there's doors for benefits, there's doors for workforce, and there's doors for the job bank and for the youth and for the seniors and for child support. So, anybody there can connect you. With COVID, it hasn't been as open as we would like, but we're working through that, and hopefully to God next year we won't be there.
Right. Let me ask you this now. Since you mentioned covert, and a lot of covert people been affected by that has basically lost their jobs, and in return on that, they don't have the monies coming in to pay the rent. Now, is there some rent assistance out there where people can take, so they won't get thrown out?
Yes. So we were fortunate that because we're a county over 500,000, we got direct money from Treasury, from the Department of Treasury. We got $92 million, and we opened an Office of CARES Act, and Marvin Mitchell, I'm sure many of you know Marvin, is the director of that center right now. And we're just working hard to get that money out the door. So one of the first things we did was grants for small businesses. And, any small businesses out there that haven't applied for it, please apply for it, because unless our legislature, our Congress changes the rules, we have to have all the money spent by December 30th. So small business. But then we looked at, we see people, and there were these various things, if the federal government said you can't evict anybody, City of Dayton was doing a great job with that. But we said, there's a lot of landlords that they need their money. So we have rental assistance, and CAP has taken that part on for us. So we've given CARES money for rental assistance and mortgage assistance. So you can apply for that as well. There's money for nonprofits, there's money for medical, there's money for our farmers in our community. So we've kind of spread the money out amongst all the different sectors that have been affected.
Yeah,
and we know it's not enough.
Now, how can people, if they want to inquire if they qualify for rental assistance, is there a number they can call and schedule an appointment?
There is a cap, but you can go through our website, Montgomery County, but there's also a special CARES website, and it's, I think it's mcohiocares.org. Okay. But you can also go through it through Montgomery County's website as well.
Yeah, get that with MC.
OhioCares.org.
Okay, so y'all
okay, don't quote me on that. I wasn't prepared for that, Keith.
That's
but
all right.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
We'll get you where you need to go. We'll post that up.
Okay.
You'll see it on the screen as to where you need to go so you can get that assistance for the rent. Now mental health. Mental health is a big issue around the country, especially in our neighborhood. And with this covert hitting and with mental health, are there any assistance for people who are suffering with mental health illnesses so they can also seek some help because they've been hit with covert too?
COVID has really hit a lot of people, their mental health. I mean, being shut in or losing your job or not being able to pay your rent, your mortgage, it's just affected so many people. So Adamus, which is one of our levy-funded agencies run by Mrs. Kelly, thank you, yes, Helen Jones Kelly, I know you know her well. And that they have a couple things that have been instituted since COVID. They have a warm line that they're endorsing and supporting, and that's just for people to call and talk about what's happening. But then they also have all of their services that have been critical for people in the last 7 months. So you can get to it through Montgomery County's website as well. But they have some really unique programs, and one of the things I think that people are starting much more recognizing is how important it is, brain health is, and to talk about brain health and to talk about mental health issues, because it has really gotten a hold of people, and in the mental health, and that's not even addressing the addiction issues that have gotten so much worse since COVID started.
Yeah. Well, Commissioner, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate your reaction to this article, because there's a lot of things going on just besides focusing in on just who's poor and who's struggling. Your office and your commissioners are doing what needs to be done to combat this issue of poverty. And I appreciate it. I know the county appreciate it. We threw out you mentioned a whole bunch of some programs out there. We will try to post those programs up so that and a number where people can call and seek some help, because there are a lot of people hurting.
I know.
And just pointing out who's hurting without trying to help them out, then it doesn't do any good.
No. And I appreciate this. I could have gone on for probably another hour about this, but I think if you look at what the county does through our human services, we are there to help people. That we really are, and to invest in people. So don't be shy, whether it's training, whether it's help you need, whether it's connecting you to the right people. We're there for you. And my office is always open to calls, to questions. You know, there's so much that we're doing in our human services world, and it's all kind of surrounding, let's stop poverty in our community, and let's grow our community out of poverty. And we know it'll never be 100%,
Right.
but that's our goal.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm sure the information that was given is going to be helpful. And maybe in the future, we'll have all three of you, have the other two commissioners with you, and even bring in the county administrator, which is Michael Corbin. And who knows, we can do a whole town hall once the covert leave. We can have the city officials, we can have the county officials. Hey, we'll just load up the whole stage with a lot of information. But that's in the future. Hopefully, take care of yourself about the covert. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you wash your hands, make sure you social distance, and I think you'll be all right. So Commissioner Lieberman, I appreciate you coming on, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, here's the scam alert. Scam alert, yes. Okay, now, this one involved me because I got the phone call. What's happening is people are calling individuals, homes, and saying that they are from the Social Security office.
The scam starts with a phone call.
This call is regarding to your Social Security number.
And that they need your Social Security number for whatever reason. No, the Social Security office does not work like that. They won't call you. They won't have you tell your Social Security number over a phone call. You will get a letter from the Social Security office, and they'll have you come down to the Social Security office and do whatever you need to be done. So if you get that phone call and this individual say, I'm from the Social Security office and I need your Social Security number, do not give that person your Social Security number. Matter of fact, hang that phone up if you can, record a number, and report it to your local police department because it's a scam. Yeah, and I got the call and the person said, I'm from the Social Security office. You know what I told them? I said, well, if you're from the Social Security office, you can read me my Social Security number. I wouldn't have to give it to you. I already got it. And so they quickly hung up the phone. But I was just, letting them know that I know the scam. But what you tell that person is that if you are from the Social Security office, send me a letter. That's what you tell them. And they hang the phone up because that's a scam. Remember, if you get a call from somebody saying they're from the Social Security office and they want your Social Security number, do not give it out. Y'all pass that on because sometimes, they prey on our senior population and don't give it out for no reason. Now, if you want to, you can hang up and then you call the Social Security office yourself and see if somebody called you from the Social Security office, if you want to do that. But I can guarantee you, nobody's calling. So that's the scam alert. Be on alert, pass this information along, and I'll keep you informed in the next week or so on the next scam. Okay, my next story is since it's football season, I came across a story that's probably going to surprise a whole bunch of people because it surprised me. And it involves the Super Bowl halftime shows. Now, an individual named Jesse Collins has become the first black producer of a Super Bowl halftime show. And I didn't know that after watching all these halftime Super Bowl shows. I thought they already had a black producer, but obviously not. Jesse Collins will become the first. A little information on Jesse Collins. He has produced shows for BET Awards, the Soul Train Awards, the Grammys. Also, he did a documentary called Love and Happiness and Obama Farewell to John Lewis, Celebrating a Hero. He also did that. And he also has his own entertainment company, which is a full-service production. And, he is the first ever executive producer of the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show. Now, people say, well, how did he get there? Well, let me tell you something. When Jay-Z had met with Roger Goodell in the NFL, and Jay-Z decided to, come on and help the NFL with some minority issues they were having, some racial issues they was having, and Jay-Z took a lot of flack. But the bigger picture is, because Jay-Z had a hand in picking who the executive producer of the halftime show would be. So, sometimes if you stand back, you can see the bigger picture unfold, because as a result of that, we have the first black executive producer of a halftime show, which is Jesse Collins. I thought that was news that people didn't know and they should know. Now, the next story is a 12-year-old kid named Caleb Anderson. Caleb Anderson, 12-year-old, said he just started his second year in majoring in aerospace engineering. Now, let me tell you something about this kid. He's from Georgia, and at 9 months, he was able to sign 250 words. He knew sign language before he could even talk. And then, at 11 months old, he was able to, he started to speak. And this kid learned English, he speaks Spanish, French, and Mediterranean. So this kid is a genius. He qualified for Mensa at the age of 3, and he joined at the age of 5, making him the youngest African-American boy to accept at that time. His parents are Carrie and Kobe, and they knew he was special when he started at a young age doing the things that most people his age didn't do. He also has 2 other siblings, Aaron and Hannah, and guess what? They're also gifted. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. You have a kid like this who's 12 years old and in aerospace engineering, in the second year of college, and his plans is to go to MIT and study at Georgia Tech as well. Now, he's set to graduate at age 14 from college. Now I don't know about y'all, but at age 14, I was probably throwing rocks in the river. I wasn't there, but this kid, I thought he should be highlighted, because we don't give too much attention to the kids who doing academic things very well. We always want to focus in on sports, and that's good, and that's fine. But when I came across this article, I said I got to share this thing, because this kid is exceptional. I congratulate his parents. I don't know where it come from, but they got 2 other kids who are geniuses too. But say, hey, it's an interesting article. His name is Caleb Anderson, and my hat's off to him. The other story I have is a man who was expelled from 10 schools and arrested as a juvenile. Now, his name is Tommy Mayberry. Mayberry is his last name. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. And he was kicked out of 10 schools and arrested for breaking and entering. But, you know what? That didn't stop him. You know what he's doing now? He's a motivational speaker. He's an educational consultant. And guess what? He just earned his PhD.
Troy students filled the Trojan Center ballrooms Tuesday night to get a message of resilience from motivational speaker Tommy Mabry.
I hope that kids will take the message that it's never too late to give it everything you got. It's not an expiration date on success. No matter what's the situation, no matter what's the circumstances, you can still be amazing if you give it everything you got. So my goal is to just inspire them to touch that thing that they operate inside and just allow them to just maximize their potential.
Mabry started out on the wrong path but is now sharing his story of success and letting others know that, like him, they can align themselves with the right path by practicing good habits. One student shares what inspired her most.
What I got from the message tonight was basically that through adversity brings strength and willingness to be able to do something, and he said that you have to have your grind match your dreams. So if you put forth that effort in everything that you want to do, the effort that you need to put forth, then you'll be able to accomplish anything, and I definitely took that away tonight.
Troy University's Student Support Services held the event to inspire students of all backgrounds to stay motivated and proactive about future goals.
I believe this event was specifically important to our students because it was someone who came from an adverse background and someone who is either has walked the same line that they have walked or and made it. I think it was really important to see somebody not only coming from the same background or less than what our students have and make it, and not only, complete a bachelor's degree, but get his master's and then continue on to get a PhD.
Shantia Wilson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And in this article, this young man said he was told that he couldn't stay in school. He was told a whole bunch of things. He fell in love with basketball. And from playing basketball, he did graduate from high school. And of course, this man went on to get his PhD. So this story is a good example. It's not how you start, and it's not how many times you get knocked down in life. It's how many times you get back up. Because I know this young man probably heard the word no more times than people had told me no. But he didn't stop. And I wanted to highlight this because I think that's a shining example of what it takes, the determination and the will to succeed. This guy, he could have been thrown to the streets. He could have been locked up, but he didn't. He chose a different path. And so I wanted to highlight this individual. His name is, is a doctor now, Dr. Tommy Marbury out of Jackson, Mississippi. And I just wanted to highlight that. And so the other issues I wanted to bring up, make sure you go and vote. Early voting is taking place. Make sure you go vote. I just got my ballot in the mail. My sister got her ballot in the mail, so make sure you fill that ballot out. Take it down to the Board of Elections at 451 West 3rd, drop it in the box. If you want to mail it, it's going to cost you 55 cents to mail it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with mailing it in. Now, I know you heard all the talking points about how bad the mail is and all this kind of thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's safe. So do what you have to do, but make sure you go vote. On this show, we don't tell you who to vote for. You know what I mean? That's on you. But we will tell you to go vote. And, it's surprising at this day and age that we're still, black folks are still being the first. Like I said about Jesse Collins, the first black producer of the Super Bowl halftime show, we're still making first. So, to the young folks out there, there's more things to be successful in other than sports. And even if you're in the entertainment field, you don't have to be a singer or a rapper. You can be a engineer. You can be a soundsman. You can be a camera crew. You can be the set. So there's a whole bunch of things. And I'm going to bring somebody on the show, probably the next show, that is involved in the entertainment industry. And he has his own company that he does. He put out a documentary. I'm not going to call his name because I got to check with him, see if he's going to come on the show first. But that's going to be for next show. I'm going to bring him on, and he'll discuss the ways that he got into the entertainment business. And he's not a rapper. He's not a singer. He's behind the scenes. He's on the boards, as they call it. And I just want to highlight things that you can be successful in besides, running up and down a playing field. And so on this show, we like to highlight issues where, people are not readily seen, but we like to highlight success stories. And, like the young man in Mississippi, kicked out of 10 schools. 10 he was kicked out of. And now he's a doctor. And by the way, he has a book also. I forgot to mention his book. If you want to read his book, it's called A Dark Journey to a Light Future. If Tommy can do it, we can do it. And I'm going to say it again. A dark journey to a light future. If Tommy can do it, we can do it. That's the title of the book by the young man down in Mississippi. So if you want to try to find that book, I'm pretty sure you can. But find that book, read that book. I haven't got a copy of it. I'm going to get me a copy, so I want to read it because that's success. This man was determined not to fail. And to the young folks out there, the only person that keeps you from succeeding is yourself. You got it? Yourself. You're going to get a bunch of no's. You're going to get knocked down a bunch of times. But what matters is that you get up and you keep persevering. Life is tough. Life's not easy. You know, some would say life is not even fair, and I would agree. But the bottom line is you have that opportunity, and that's all that matters. And take advantage of any opportunity you can. So, I'm going to close. Y'all know the closing. There's never an ending. There's always a continuation. And may God bless you and your family.